You didn't know any better? You'd think this headline is right out of The Onion. Inslee, Governor Inslee, fearless leader of Washington State, he signs bill into law to allow illegal immigrants to obtain professional licenses. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll work out just great. Bail bondsman? Yeah. What happened? You got deported. Yeah, your bail bond? Yeah. Let's get into it. Here we go. This is some nuttiness. This is some Washington State shenanigans. It's all you can say. You just want to give people the opportunity to work? Yeah, they don't have legal status. They could get deported. Yeah, but we just want to give them the opportunity to get a job, get out there and just get working. Just get working. Washington residents without permanent legal immigration status will soon be able to get professional licenses for jobs once closed to them. Do you think there might have been a reason that those jobs were closed to them? Do you think? I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there, right? So many of these jobs where it's related to, public safety and whatnot require somebody, or public trust, I should say, require somebody to be a legal U.S. resident. Legal U.S. resident. I think that's fair. But in Washington State, hell no. We're just going to go for it. Let anybody do anything. It's all good. It'll work out fine. I mean, what could go wrong, right? Governor Jay Inslee on Wednesday signed House Bill 1889, which allows the use of individual tax ID numbers, often used by immigrants without legal status, to file taxes instead of Social Security numbers on professional license applications because they're not in the country legally. And we don't know if they will be permanently because, they've got their court hearing 3 years, 4 years, 5 years out, 2031. We don't know. Have they been vetted? We don't know. And here they are. My state's just going to hand them out a license. There you go. Give somebody a tattoo. It's all fine. It's all good. Physical therapy? Oh, yeah, you betcha. Personal trainer? You betcha. Appraiser? I mean, what could possibly go wrong with somebody that's responsible for determining the value of a loan that's underwritten by the United States government? I mean, bundled up in security packages, in the stock market. What could possibly go wrong allowing somebody with illegal status to handle those tasks now? I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be good. Some professions like optometry, private investigators, and notaries require applicants to be United States citizens to qualify for licensure. The bill also removes those requirements. Not any longer. Have at it, guys and gals. Just go for it. This bill will open doors for careers in teaching, healthcare, accounting, and many other professions to those who are ready to join the Washington workforce. But what if they get deported there, Big J? What if they get deported? Yeah. So you're setting some of these people up to fail, right? I mean, I just don't see this working as a long-term solution. Rules dictating which professional licenses require Social Security numbers are often unclear and can discourage applicants. I'm not saying people shouldn't apply to them, but I think you should be I think you should be in the country legally before you do so. I think you should wait your turn like everybody else within the system, because now you're going to have a bunch of knuckleheads who aren't legal coming to my state. I want to be a whatever. I want to take schooling for that because I know I can get a license, and you're not even a citizen. I mean, yeah. It's Washington. These Washington politics, right? During committee hearings on the bill, legislators heard from people who said that they had to pursue alternate professions because licensing requirements barred them from their dream jobs. You know what? You can get your dream job, no problem, and you don't have to be a U.S. citizen. You get your dream job at wherever country you came from. What about that? There's nothing saying that since you come to the United States illegally, that you should be able to get your dream job. That's not a thing. That's just not a thing. You got to get what you can get, period, right? So one testifier, Maria Barrios, said that she wants to go to Yakima Valley Community College to pursue dentistry, but her academic advisor told her she wouldn't be able to due to her immigration status. Okay, how about you work through that immigration status and then you think about becoming a dentist. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, don't put the horse before the cart, whatever that saying is. If I could access a professional license, I would be working on something I'm passionate about. I'm sorry that you had to come to the land of the free and home of the brave and work on something that you're not passionate about. I'm sorry that our taxpayer dollars from legit U.S. citizens are covering, all of your expenses, get you here, all that kind of good stuff, come across the border, all that good stuff. And here you are, and you're not able to do your thing. There was nothing ever saying that you were able to do that. My state has just decided, we're just going to make this a little bit easier for these folks, and we can be one big happy family. If I could access a professional license, I would be working on something I'm passionate about, said Barrios, who recently graduated from Heritage University in Toppenish, Washington. Let people like me pursue a career. You can open more paths to more students. Yes, but should we? That is the question. Should we? Other people are here legally. They work to get their citizenship legally. They did the required schooling. They took the required tests. They passed. They got licensed, and they're up and running. You could do the same, but you don't want to because it's going to take too long and I can't get it done. Well, you came into the U.S. illegally. Had you, stayed in your home country and worked through that immigration thing, maybe you don't qualify. Maybe you don't qualify for asylum status here in the United States. Maybe that's just not going to happen. Who knows, right? Who knows? But hey, here in Washington, let's just go ahead and license a bunch of people. And we'll just see what happens. Just, this should be fine. Be good. It's all fine. It's all good. Washington's unauthorized population has risen in recent years. Shocking. I'm not surprised. Pew Research Center estimates that as of 2021, 3.9% of Washington's residents are unauthorized, or roughly 300,000 people. Now, how many of those people are really looking for a professional license? A tiny, tiny fraction of that, right? Legislative staff said it's difficult to estimate how many people might pursue jobs under the new licensing because they don't have an effing clue. Just hand them out like candy. Let's get some more pros in here. However, representatives of several local universities told lawmakers the bill would benefit their undocumented students. We got undocumented students. Now we're going to have undocumented teachers. We're going to have undocumented, you name it, undocumented, no problem. Should work out fine. Deportation? No siree. That guy's a doctor. That guy's a rocket scientist over there. Might get deported, but we don't really know. University of Washington Tacoma's representative, Reese Ramirez, said the school enrolls roughly 200 undocumented students. This article, it was written by Grace Dang, Washington State Standard. It's kind of a puff piece towards this whole notion. It doesn't bring up anything about, hey, maybe some of these people, maybe there's a reason that Washington state law has for years and years and years and years excluded them from becoming a licensed professional in our state without citizenship. Maybe there's a reason we have that in place. Do you think, do you think that might be a thing? Could that be a thing? I mean, working through logic here, does that make some sense to you? Probably not. Probably not to most of my fellow Washingtonians. Oh, this is great. Gonna have just a new generation of licensed professionals. Yeah, I know they can't vote, but they can do everything else. They can do everything else. Let's take a quick peek at some of the jobs that these illegals could ultimately be looking at. All right, we've got auctioneers. All right, got auctioneers. That's good. That's nice. Got a little auctioneer action. Yeah, there we go. Auctioneers. We've got bail bondsmen. Oh, I can't see a problem with that. I mean, bail bonds, that should be fine, right? I mean, camping resorts operators, commercial telephone solicitors, cosmetologists, barbers, manicurists, court reporters. All right. Driver training schools. Hablas español? No inglés. No inglés. What do we got going on here? Limousine drivers, notary public. How about a little notary public action by somebody who may or may not qualify for asylum? They don't really know. Haven't had their hearing yet. They're waiting and they're in the process. Well, let's go ahead and give them a notary public so that they can legally document transactions of any sort. Any sort. You get that notarized? Yes, I did. Where's that notary public that you had sign it? Yeah, Your Honor, they got deported. What do you mean they got deported? Well, they weren't legal. And, they had that issue. Yeah. Got deported. Private investigators. I mean, what could go wrong there? What could go wrong? Real estate appraisers, real estate brokers, scrap metal processors, security guards, sellers of travel. Did you get your travel package? No, never mind. Didn't work out. Whitewater River outfitters, home inspectors, body artists, piercing people, tattoo artists, body art, body piercing, tattoo shops and businesses. Appraisal management company. That's the company that it came between me and my clients, and the federal government decided in their esteemed logic that the whole reason the crash of the Great Recession happened was because of appraisers. And so we're going to put in this firewall. The appraisal management company is the firewall in between appraisers and the mortgage companies. So you got appraisal management companies that, dish out millions and millions of dollars of appraisal orders for federally related transactions that are going to be backed as securities in the U.S. stock market. I'm sure it'll be fine to hand that out to an illegal that, just came in. Who knows? I mean, we'll just see how this goes. And the list goes on. Collection agency board. You've got all kinds of stuff. Then we start to get into some of the fun events here. Dietitians and nutritionists, substance use disorder. Here's my favorite: sex offender treatment providers. Because, why not? Why not? Just let them have at it. Let her rip. We'll throw all these occupations out there and we'll see who, takes one. And we'll just, be kind of a little social experiment here. I'm sure it'll work out. And, in all honesty, for a lot of these jobs, maybe it will work out fine. But, you don't want to be the guinea pig. Hey, Washington State, I don't really want to be in a state where, let's just do this. Because we're going to see some examples of what can go wrong. They won't be the vast majority. Because these people, they need to work. And I recognize that and I respect that. But the problem is you've got people looking for professional licenses that came into the country illegally. Period. Full stop. So are those the people we should be handing out professional licenses with, where public safety is a real issue? Should we be handing those out to people who do not have a legal right, as of yet, to be in the United States? That to me, and historically, we have said no. Why are we saying yes now? It's a good question, right? Because we need to get more people into these positions. Okay, is this the best you can come up with? Take some people that may or may not be here 6 months from now. We don't know. And we'll just roll the dice, see what their immigration status is down the road. We've got surgical technologists. We've got recreational therapists. We've got animal massage therapists, athletic trainers, home care aides, genetic counselors. I don't see any issues there. Do you? This should be medical assistant certified, medical assistance, hemodialysis technician. The list just literally. Birth doulas. Oh yeah. Music therapists, behavioral health support specialists. The list, the list just goes on and on and on. It's, Washington State. This is what we're doing. We're taking what we used to do. We got illegals. We love the illegals. Never mind the fact that they came, to the country illegally. And that's why we call them illegals. But now we call them newcomers. And the newcomers have the right to get a professional license because that's the good question, right? That's a good question. Maybe if we give them a license, it'll be that much harder for them to leave. Maybe if we give them a license, they're going to make some money. They'll stay. Maybe if we give them a license, the state wants more qualified people. And I get that. But I don't think this is probably the greatest decision, because just like the vast majority coming across the southern border aren't murderers, aren't rapists, they're not criminals. But when you bring millions into the country, a certain percentage are going to be that. They're going to be bad hombres. We know that statistically. So since we're not really vetting them at the border and they're coming across, hey, send me to Washington State. I want to be a whatever counselor. I want to be a music therapist. I want to be a sex offender treatment provider. Hey, can you see that just working out swimmingly? Yeah, me too. Yeah. Who's making these decisions? Well, my fearless governor is. That's who's making these decisions. It's wild. This makes no sense at all. But, this is the world we live in. It's hard to get a real estate appraisal license. It's damn hard to be able to do that. And I feel like it's a slap in the face to somebody who worked their ass off to get that license. I've got a managing broker's license. You're going to allow them to get, it said real estate broker, right? It said real estate broker. So why wouldn't they be able to run a full-on real estate company selling millions and millions and millions of dollars in real estate, maybe into the billions if you get a big enough shop, right? It's not that hard. House now costs a couple $1,000,000, high-end brokerage. Not that big of a deal to go in the billions. So why wouldn't you have a managing broker who's maybe an illegal that we haven't vetted all that well, that just, kind of hit the right buttons and figured out how to work their way through the system? Is that inconceivable? No. Should it be happening? I don't think so. There's a reason that we're not letting people who their first step into the United States was illegal. There's a reason we're not licensing those people. Maybe you think I'm just way out of line and we should just let everybody do whatever the F they want and just license people up left and right and just believe in humanity that they're going to do the right thing. That these acupuncturists, these hypnotherapists, these persons licensed with mental health counselors, mental health family therapist associates, social workers, social work associates, they're all going to be just stellar, outstanding, good people. Maybe you believe that, but I don't. Because look at the numbers. You're going to have certain percentages that just doesn't make any sense. And the whole reason you have people, you have people qualifying for these licenses is because they've gone through the right channels. These folks haven't. They're waiting for something that they're basically skipping that step, which is they didn't come to the U.S. legally. And that, to me, that's a hurdle that should not just be, we'll just smooth that out. We'll just give them licenses, give them the ability to get a license. It'll work out fine. Yeah, it's great. We're going to have lots more employees, lots more contributing members. And I get the fact that some of these illegals, they want to work right away. But there's a system in place. There are rules to be followed. And so much of this, including this new law in the state of Washington, is just eradicating that. And I feel like I'm standing, I feel like I'm hearing, defund the police is the greatest thing ever. Again, I'm hearing that. And in reality, I'm saying, hey, no, there's a reason we haven't done this to date. And it might have something to do with, common sense. Yeah. But, that whole defund the police thing, it worked out pretty good, didn't it? I mean, one of my podcasts the other day was City of Seattle is having a heck of a time recruiting officers because you defunded the police. You crapped on policing as a profession. You went down all of these avenues that the rest of us reasonable people said at the time in 2020, that's a terrible idea. Then you got to wait 4 years later, and the city of Seattle's safety is in jeopardy because you don't have enough cops. Could you see maybe some safety issues with some of these occupations, with letting people in that we know very little about, that we have vetted very little, that we know very little information on, very little in the way of background, because they're not even citizens yet? Yeah, I could see that being a reality. But what would I know? I'm a podcaster, a real estate guy, podcaster, whatever. Yeah, just being a citizen here in the state of Washington, just letting laws just go whoosh, whoosh. Ah, that's a good one. Oh, that was interesting. Oh, that bill's, that's frightening. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. All right, I beat this one into the ground. Thanks so much for being here. I'll catch up with you in the next one. Before you go, love to have you subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit the like button, and share with friends and family. That is the greatest way you can get word out for this channel. Thanks for being here. See you on the next one. Bye for now.